right, check us out. Welcome to this first episode of Urban Child Development. We're your hosts, the Gambinos. Some people in this room will be very familiar with what the Gambinos are. So sit back, relax, get you some water, some wine, or whatever you indulge in, and rock with us for about 45. All right. So with that being said, our first topic is children and money. And I got a series of questions for you all. Darnell, what was your first introduction to money?
Shit. Like real money?
Yeah.
Like
Not
myself?
like money, period. Like your first introduction to money.
I mean, my first introduction to money was probably like getting a refund back in college. That was like the first time I ever held like that much money at one point.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Stu?
Mine's probably be stocks. Because I actually put a hand on myself. I can actually do it manually. That's probably my biggest one because I control it.
For myself, the first introduction to money, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, was I stayed in the projects, Deers Park in Virginia, and I looked underneath my cousin's bed, and he had a shoebox full of fucking money in there. But it won't like no real money now that I'm old, but it was enough money for me as a child to be like, yo, what the hell? So I think that was my first introduction to money. What about you, Tremaine? What's your first introduction to money?
Man, as I can remember, it's like doing chores. Like,
yeah.
If you want money, you got to earn it. It don't grow on trees. So that's my first introduction to money. Is like you want it, you got to earn it.
Yeah, I feel you. That's pretty much how I carry my household. Like these kids, they can get anything they want, but their currency is their grades for me. Like you can't come in here and get with C's and D's and think you're gonna come in here and asking me for the latest J's or whatever you indulge in that makes you happy. You can't come in here and ask me for that. Not in my house.
Yeah, you gotta work for that, man.
Absolutely. What about you, Thor?
Yeah, I'm similar to Tremaine, man. You know, my granddad, he pretty much raised me, so he had that old school mentality. It was earned, not given. So just out there doing hard labor, man, cutting grass, cutting down trees. You know what I mean? Then I started my own little side hustle in the summer. Just going door to door, see who need a yard cut. You know what I'm saying? Push mold, tractor, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get it in, you know what I'm saying? I ran across some of the homies in the hood and I'm like, man, these niggas got multiple cars. I'm like, man, what y'all? Hey, y'all we from around the way. Like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Then, they introduced me to the game, and I was like, man, this is some decent money. But, like Trey said, it wasn't no real money, looking back. You know what I mean? But it was enough money to get my attention, nigga. Shit, I could smell it, nigga. It was enough to get my attention. I'll tell you that right now, nigga. I was like, shit, nigga, I want in on this, nigga. Shit.
All right, so as a child, what you think is the dumbest thing you bought, Stoops?
Wasting money on shoes. My first job was at Arby's. I bought some Air Maxes, spent $140. Shouldn't have done it, but look, I got a job. I can buy what I want then. But then you start looking and be like, it's a waste of money right here, man. But I mean, that's probably my biggest thing. I can't think of nothing else going back that far. But like I said, I had a job. I said I wanted this for a long time. So I said, I got my own money. And normally your mom and dad would be like, nah, you ain't about to get this. Cause she bought me some J's. It was like $95 in early 92. She's like, don't tell your pops. I was like, all right. Now I start looking back, I was like, I can see why she said don't tell your pocket. That's a lot of money in the early 90s, man. So you have your own job, you got your own money now. So back then, when I first job at Arby's, I think it was like 14 to 15. And after that, that was really about it though.
Okay. All right. Dwayne, what do you think the dumbest thing you ever bought as a kid? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you said as a kid or
as a child?
You mean like as a
in your journeys through life, what you think is the dumbest thing you ever bought?
Well, as a child, I don't really remember too much about buying anything. You know, we grew up in poverty, but as a teenager, the stupidest thing I bought was a QP of weed and didn't make no money off of it.
That's real. That's real. That's real as hell. That's real as hell.
But
Donnell,
were
what
you
you think?
were you smoking on Dwayne?
No, I wasn't even smoking back then.
This nigga lying. He smoked the whole quarter pound of weed.
The whole
In a plastic bag.
What about you, Donnell? Through your journeys through life, what you think the stupidest thing you bought?
Man, I can't even go back that far, but I remember like graduating high school, I was supposed to buy like the senior package and photos and all that shit, standing by the ladder. And I think I went and bought a chain instead. So a hollow 10-carat chain instead. I don't have no senior photos from back in the day. So yeah, that was the dumbest thing.
Okay. I hit you with mine. It had to be my first duty station. I was stationed at Fort Hood. And when I was stationed at Fort Hood, I bought one. You remember the two-way pager when it dropped, the little silver one that made the noise?
Yeah.
I had to have it as soon as it dropped because it was the latest and greatest. So I ran, scraped up my money, went and got one, couldn't talk to but one other motherfucker in the unit. There's only one other motherfucker had it. Dumbest money I ever spent. I couldn't get that 600 back right now. I need that. What about you, man? What you think the dumbest thing you ever bought?
Man, hey, that rang bells right there because I know I went out. That was, you know what? I got off credit. I got that when I was at Central, and they're giving out credit cards. So I used a credit card to get my two-way page. But like you said, it was only a few people you could talk to. And crazy thing, a couple folks that had them, I ain't even want to talk to their ass. You was getting like the different beats and shit. That shit was crazy, but it might have been one of the stupidest things that I can remember. I probably done bought a whole bunch of stupid. But that's, as a child though, I can't think about anything stupid because everything was either just like shoes or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, for the fellas in the room that have older children, what do you think is some of the dumbest things you've seen your child buy? I'll start with you, Dwayne.
My child service, I don't know. I can't even think of nothing right now. I still think right now.
Oh, I can tell you what my child bought. She do it all the fucking time.
What?
She can be in this motherfucker, bro. It's food all through this motherfucking house. There's snacks all through here. But she'll go take her last $10 to $15 and Uber some fucking food. I don't understand. Like, I grew up wanting no food.
Your food too, my dog.
You grow up with a bunch of food in the house and you Ubering. Hey, man.
That's how they grew up, though. They don't know no different. Yeah, they
ain't lying. That's
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. But see,
that's
I still
crazy.
remember as a child chasing after the ice cream truck with the dollar. Ice cream truck pull up. Oh, I'm chasing that ice cream truck all the way down the street with $1 just to get them penny goddamn candies.
Yeah.
And rock my fucking teeth and had to end up at the dentist.
Man, it won't no bringing no food outside. You're gonna eat what's in the house.
You ain't lying. No leftovers and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Warming up and everything too. Out that refrigerator.
Bring food home. We worked the little C's back in the
day. Yeah. So at the
once you're making your own money, you can get your own stuff though. Yeah, buy your own food.
Man. So what is one of the dumbest things you see your older child about?
Man, nothing, because he ain't got a job. I can tell you my dumb ass done bought some stuff that I know I shouldn't have done.
Man, we do what we gotta do for him, man. You know what I'm saying? What about you, Simmons? What you think I know you got an older child. What do you think some of the dumbest things you ever seen them?
Oh, that was funny, man. But so I got kids across all ranges. So my youngest kids, I think the stuff that they spend these new toys, these fidgets, that plastic things that they pop back and forth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
my son has several
of them things too.
Yeah.
I swear that's the cheapest invention of a toy ever. But they love those. And then as far as the oldest ones, we really kind of like my oldest one don't got a job either. She just started working, so most of her purchases we kind of sponsor for the most part. I
Mm-hmm.
can't really think of that they buy. I think it's stupid.
All right, I got a question for you, Stu. What do you know about money now that you wish you knew then that you are now going to teach to your children so they can be far advanced than what you were?
So I know in school they never teach you nothing about money, taxes. There's a reason why to keep you down there.
Yeah.
Now it's like since I figure out about stocks, I try to give him like I said before, I give him an account when he's 5 months old. Try to follow some of the ideas that I'm giving him now, and then as a progression in life with him, I don't know. It's kind of hard because you got so many ideas when it comes to money because you got to take advantage of the opportunity. So like I start with him for 5 months and put $20 to $150 with him every month. And so when he turns 18, then I'm gonna give him the account, give him the account by itself, but I'm gonna do it by every 4 or 5 years. I ain't giving him the whole money.
Gotcha.
So just teach him how to use his own money. At the same time, people have him a job though. Probably when he like 14, being a bagger on post or something like that.
Gotcha.
So he can still learn those ways, but he won't know nothing about the money until he turns 18 years old.
Gotcha.
So I didn't know nothing about that. I mean, the generation is different from my parents trying to teach me because they had to do all that hard work. Now that everybody has the opportunity and you take the advantage opportunity, it makes everything easier. And it's gonna be easier for them as well too.
Okay. What about you, Donnell? What do you wish you knew now? What do you know now that you wish you knew back then that you're definitely going to teach to your children to make sure that they're smart, man?
Before you get too bogged down with like responsibilities, save more than you spend and invest early. Look for investment opportunities. I mean, we were like, especially like knowing stuff now about real estate and things. Like, yeah, weigh some options, invest early, save more than you spend. That's what
if you think about it. If we would have all put our checks together at Little Caesars, we could have bought a motherfucking house.
You ain't lying.
You know it.
We rented for 10 years, you know, as adults.
Right.
We bought a house, basically. Yeah.
All right. So what about you, Thor?
I would say like us as a whole, like black people, like we have to come to the realization that money is fake. You know what I mean? That we deal with capitalism, and we need to, basically do what the white people do. The ability to borrow money to finance whatever project you have. And I think we don't use that enough. Relying on our credit scores to speak for ourselves and being able to borrow whatever we need, you know what I mean? Because I mean that's I got homies in the banking industry, they tell the white people they come in all the time, man. They borrowing, millions of dollars. You feel me? Flipping it, making two, three.
Why do you think it's one way and not the other? Why do you think us as a culture don't know the things that let's say people from other backgrounds know to make sure that they're ahead?
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's a selective audience. It's like a underground code, really. You know what I mean? Only a select audience, is really brought up to the knowledge level of what's going on in society. How money works. You know what I mean? And honestly, everybody, is not receptive to the knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, we talked about the dumbest things we spent our money on. I remember I had a white guy. He was one of my subordinates. He put me on stocks when we in Iraq on my second tour. You feel me? He like, man, I'm listening to you. You talking about buying rims and shit like that and stereo systems, nigga. He was like, you one of the smartest black guys I've met since I've been in the army. And I'm like, damn, bro. And I'm like, he breaking it down liabilities and asset because his mom and dad had been talking to it, since he was crawling. You feel me? But in our household, it's not like that. In the African American household, it's like, hey, you got to get it how you live. You know what I mean? And honestly, the neighborhoods I've lived in, we didn't have no bankers, we didn't have no doctors, we didn't have nobody that made it to the NBA, the NFL. You know what I mean? Our level of finance was, hey, the nigga that made it, moving, a few hundred keys a week. You know what I'm saying? He was like the golden boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I want to be like this man over here. You know what I'm saying? $1 million non-taxable money. You know what I mean? But he got a bid hanging over his head that we don't see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the difference between the, you know, between the multiple races. You know what I'm saying? Hell, even the Mexicans, they don't figure this shit out. You know, 30 of them niggas come over here, live in one house, nigga, and shit. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas come over here, 30 of them in one house, nigga.
Hey,
Shit,
Brett.
about a month, 2 months later, nigga, they got two houses, nigga, cash, nigga.
And they,
Then
and
they
they
got
building it
three.
up
Then they
themselves.
got
And
four,
they building
five.
it, yeah.
Yo, they
They
building it up
building
Yeah,
it.
themselves.
you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I'm just saying they got to figure it out. And we've been in here longer than, and we ain't figured it out yet. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I think
it's crazy, man.
I feel you. What do you think, Dwayne?
let me add something what TT was saying though, because I think some of it goes back to like I was watching y'all saying them like on Netflix. Is it them
Yeah.
or
Ain't
yeah,
seen it yet.
where it talks like how like the banks and stuff, everything was set up designed against black people, and people don't want to borrow because you get put your name on something and you can't pay it back, they take it. So I think in my household it's more so like you earn what you get and keep it, and don't be putting your name on anything and things like that. Because again, you got to read that red tape, and I think that goes
Yeah,
back to generation how black folks were just
Yeah.
trained. Like you get it, you earn it, you ain't borrowing.
Hold on to it.
Yeah,
yeah,
hold on. Yeah, exactly. No matter you, yeah, blood, sweat, and tears. But like you said, like things have changed now, where I guess there are more opportunities and things aren't. They got the rights and everything where things aren't like they were. But some of that stuff, like I said, it was ingrained from my parents and just trickle down still. But I guess it's up to us, like to break that mold to do things differently because we know differently. Like you know better, you do better.
Yeah, absolutely.
All about how you've been raised and what you pick up in life.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your thoughts on it, Dwayne? What would you say is the biggest lesson you learned in finances that you're going to teach your kids that you didn't know when you was a child?
Okay, I got a couple of things, man. First, the first skill set that I teach my kids, man, is to monetize their skills. So I got a daughter that loves to paint, do art. So I have her monetize that. So when she sells her paintings, and she'll take that money and she'll re-up with her art supplies, right? So taking a hobby, something that you love, and then monetizing it. Same thing with my second oldest daughter. She loves beauty and cosmetics and doing hair. Teaching her how to braid, putting her in a course where she can get certified at 14 to do hair and licensed to do it. So monetizing your skill set is definitely, I feel like something that you can do immediately, right? You don't have to go out and acquire a skill. You don't got to go pay for institutional training or anything like that. You can monetize the natural born skill that you were given, right? But monetizing your gift. And then to add to what I was talking about in regards to like the black family and our lack of knowledge or wealth, man, I think it really goes back farther to us being the only ethnicity of people who were released from slavery with no economic foundation, right? So we never
Mm-hmm.
managed money. We were freed we were freed from slavery, but we became a slave to debt from that point, right? That's what
Mm-hmm.
sharecropping came
Mhm.
from, right? We went and started sharecropping, not making money off of it, so still not learning no money management. Now, don't get me wrong. Over time, we were able to go and build things like the Black Wall Street, like in Oklahoma, but Oklahoma wasn't the only place. They were all over. It was in Harlem and everywhere. So there is still a group of black people who are very financially sound to this day. We make up
Mm-hmm.
13% of the country. Out of that 13%, of the black people in this country, there is a large amount of us that are wealthy, right? But like TT said, there's a lack of wanting to go and get the knowledge. So there's going to always be a part of the population that's poor. It don't matter if you're looking at it from a racial standpoint or just a capitalist standpoint in general. There's poor blacks, there's poor whites, there's poor Mexicans, right? And then there's wealthy ends of those races as well. So it's all
Mm-hmm.
about information, man. It's all about information. Going out there and getting it and surrounding yourself around people who understand finances, right? Because we didn't know that coming from the block. Nobody taught us how to manage money. But I think the root cause of this is because of how we were released from slavery with no economic foundation. Yeah, that's my spill.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go around the room. And anybody got anything else y'all want to give to the group? We're gonna spread some knowledge, pass it around. If not, this is
yeah. I would like to expound on the finance. Like Dwayne was talking about. I think too we got to add to that. Relationship building.
Mm-hmm.
Because oftentimes we talk about it's not what you know, it's who you know, And I was saying business that plays a valuable role in who you know. You know what I mean? Like I tell people all the time, I don't have problems. I have friends. You know, and I stand by that. You know what I mean? I can pick up the phone and be like, hey, this, or whatever, you know what I mean? And somebody gonna look out for me, not just on the strength of me, but just my character or what have you, but you gotta build those relationships and you'll end up in those circles like we building this circle, right now, it's really about that relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't
Yeah.
a one man, it's always a team effort, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, these big corporations, that they have, like it wasn't started by one man, you know what I mean? They had finance and they had a team of, individuals. You look at Magic, you know what I mean? He buying
Hmm.
stuff, people like Magic, this and that, but hell, Magic got a team of people. He ain't spending all his money.
Yeah.
Magic
Yeah.
got a lot of white friends, man. They ain't saying that. Magic got
Yeah.
a lot of white friends, man. And he buying shit. Hell, most of them motherfuckers was white when he bought them Dodgers. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah.
He was like, we buying them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's definitely about relationships, man. You got to build them, man. Don't burn no bridges. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that bridge is burnt. And like Meek said, don't expect me to send a yacht to you, nigga. But you out there. You on your own, nigga. Hey, you on your own, nigga. Hey, you on your own, nigga.
All right, so that's gonna wrap up this first episode, pilot episode of Urban Child Development. We'll check
What
y'all
was
out
that?
next time, next week, next channel. Holla at us.